This is a story about a group of English boys who are stranded on an island after their plane crashes. The story begins with the two protagonists, Ralph, an athletic school kid, and Piggy, an overweight, asthmatic, and bespectacled child. Ralph finds a conch shell and blows into it. After a few moments, boys start appearing from all over the island. The most notable are the choir, led by a boy named Jack Merridew. After a quick council, they decide that they should explore the island, and Ralph, Jack, and another boy named Simon goes up a hill to get a better view. There, Ralph decides to set up a fire so that if there are any passing ships, they can see the smoke and rescue the boys. Jack and his choir are put in charge of hunting and managing the fire. Jack believes the group should focus solely on hunting, while Ralph is adamant that they should concentrate on managing the fire and building shelters. A rumor spreads among the younger boys that there's a snake-like beastie in the woods. A boy with a mulberry birthmark declares that he has seen the beast. The rumors are quickly silenced by the older group of boys. The boys use Piggy's glasses to light the fires. One day, the fire gets out of control and engulfs a huge swath of land. The mulberry-marked boy vanishes, presumably burned to death in the fire. A ship passes by and Jack and Piggy attempts to draw attention to themselves, not realizing that the fire is off. When they get to the top of the hill, it's already too late and the ship is out of sight. Dispute grows among the boys and fear spreads that the beastie is out to get them. One night an aerial battle rages overhead and a dead soldier in a parachute lands on the hill, which scares the boys on the night watch. The boys believe the dead body is the beastie. Jack declares that Ralph is a coward and that Jack should be in charge instead. When no one agrees, he runs away and forms a new group. Soon, most of the boys have joined his group. The group engages in hunting and violent rituals. They eventually kill a sow and cuts his head off, sticking it on a spike. Simon has a vision where he speaks to the pig's head. It declares that it is the Lord of the Flies, or Beelzebub. He faints, then he goes up the hill to see the so-called beastie. He realizes that the beasts aren't on the island, but inside the boys themselves. However, when he returns and tries to tell the truth, the boys take him as the beast and murders him with their bare hands and teeth. His dead body ends up in the sea. The next day, Ralph and Piggy are shocked by what they have done and tries to persuade themselves that they did not join in. During the process, Jack's party raids the shelters and steals Piggy's glasses. When they go to see Jack the next day, they are assaulted and a boy called Roger kills Piggy with a large rock. The conch shell is shattered with Piggy. The boys hunt Ralph, the last opposing member, with fire. Eventually, the smoke alerts a nearby ship, and when an officer talks to them, the boys weep for the sake of innocence and for the darkness of men's hearts. Now, there's much to be said about this story, but I'll begin by saying this is not an island adventure story. It runs much deeper. This is a story about the human nature and its inevitable collapse into evil when left unsupervised, and the fine line we always step on between balance and chaos, order and savagery. Each event and character highlights something more than meets the eye. Ralph represents civilization and democracy, while Jack represents disorder and dictatorship. Piggy is the embodiment of rationality and wisdom, and Roger represents bloodlust and violence. The common view is that Simon represents goodness, but I disagree. I think Simon represents innocence, religion, and philosophy. When Simon talks to the sow's head and it reveals itself as Beelzebub, it clearly shows this. Also, his death signifies the abolition of philosophers. The conch shell, meanwhile, is a symbol of order. When the story begins, we see democracy in the form of Ralph, keeping the boys together. However, gradually dictatorship takes over and a schism grows between the boys. Rationality can only do so much against bloodlust and is eventually defeated. When rationality dies, the conch shell is destroyed, symbolizing the end of order. On a less deep but not lighter note, we are not given any clue to what kind of war Britain is involved in during the story. This also means that the boys might have to go back into war. They may have rescued themselves from their own nature, but rescuing the human race will be harder. I hope this video gave you a chance to look deeper into yourself and reflect. What kind of person will I truly be when left unsupervised? Thank you for watching.